Okay, this may be a long video if I'm not careful. I'm going to try to keep it short. I got a lot of work to do, you guys know it. The shop time out here has been just about non existent for the last 2 weeks. Okay, I ain't got no excuses. Life gets in the way, other work has to be done. I'm caught up till it snows this weekend, then I'm not going to be. Hey, you guys out there at Snowplow, you know what the deal is. You get to working in them big plazas. Oh my. You got to plow. You just keep going. I run a big darn loader with a big pusher on it. But it isn't like you're chasing snowflakes. You're really, when you go from one end to the lot, and you're going around them shopping carts and light poles and the oddball car that has to park where you just went, so you can't go there again. You got to try to get around them all the time. It I tell you, by the time you go 2 days with that, even if you have to stop and get $4, $5 nap, and go back in, you're done Monday. I tried it this Monday. I couldn't do it. I'm just too tired. Okay, back to it. Here's what we got going on. We're going to talk about transfers, the relationship. I see there's a lot of you guys that are getting quite good with a degree wheel. You understand. You know that everything you do, duplicate it 3 times. It has to duplicate 3 times when you're reading your degrees. And that's your exhaust opening, your intake opening and closing, and your transfer timing. It has to three times exactly. It's not, well, that was just a little bit here or that. You got to get it where you can do that. Then, this is the next level, the transfers. There are, in chainsaws, let's break it down simple. I know there's 5 different types of transfers. I'm going to break it down into 2 different types. And I could not figure out how to do this video without all of a sudden having this crazy math calculations that you guys have to figure so you know what's what. How about I just show you, hey, this is what I do, and we'll go that way. If you want to know more, yeah, we can work it out. But I'm trying to get you guys entry level so that you all can build your own saws. I can't build all of them for you. Some of you guys are going to have to build your own saws. So that's what we're doing here. This is the whole intention of starting this whole deal. Okay, I just happen to be working on this 372 cylinder for Bucking, and I'm going to send that to him. I'm friggin' 10 days late with that already. He still ain't got his P51. Man understands, my world kind of went upside down for a bit, and I've been busy, but I also understand this is important stuff. Okay, the transfers on a 372 are on the outside of the cylinder. They're not on the inside, okay? So let's roll with that, And then you can see the transfer openings right in that area. Okay, same size saw. It's a 272. This is why this is a good combination. They're not on the outside. They're on the inside. See that? That's where it comes out of your case and goes in, and then it comes out above the piston right here. Okay? Now, this is for that 61, that white top 61 build that I've been trying for a month to get back to. I haven't been able to. What we are doing on the 372s, I've already showed you this once. I'm going to show you again. See where I've cut that to the magic marker right there? Let me get this light around so it's better. You can see that mark. I got to fix it. Every time you move this darn thing, boy, get this stuff at Walmart. It ought to be better than that, wouldn't it? Don't you think? Sorry, Walmart. It's just the way it is. Okay. Anyway, you see my magic marker line there? I cut that. Everything out right here. Make that level. You go just a little below. First time out, if you kind of make that all jaggly and waggly, don't worry about that. And then you're widening your transfers. You take this edge right here, this finish, it'll be much wider than that. Leave a thin edge on it, right through here. And then take this area here and just put a blunt point on it. Okay, what you're trying to accomplish, this is why this is a good video. What are we trying to accomplish? We are trying to get the air and fuel mixture up the transfers, that's like this, and hit above the intake right in here. You want that to hit in that area. You're trying to aim it for that area right there. So look at your openings. Look at where your primary transfer is. It's always on the exhaust side. This is your primary. And you're trying to fire that air. Just think if you pour water down that, what's it going to do? If you want to do that, take your garden hose and just spray. Do the best you can to seal that off and just see what the angle is. The air is going to be fairly much the same direction as water would be. I use a smoke machine when I do that. Okay, I just want you to know that. It works pretty good for me. It gives me a good idea. Yeah, right. Yeah, from the band. The smoke machine makes a little fog. And so that's what you're trying to accomplish on all two strokes. Don't nobody lie to you. This stuff's simple. Let's break it down and make it so we all can understand. Okay, on the internal ones, you see where you're at. The air, your side of your piston is open so that you can get air in this channel. Okay, so what happens is when your piston comes down, that's shoving that air. Once it closes the intake, the skirt, it's shoving air up that, and it's coming out right here. See that? It comes out right here. So it goes in here and comes out here. Okay, well, this is too steep, and there's a lot of things you can change different. Now, this is simple work. I'm going to move my light around. You see where I highlighted? That's about how much I remove, and I taper it right into this floor. Because you'll see all of a sudden it ramps right up right here. Okay, now you see where I highlighted on the side? I take a little more off there because I'm trying to get these designs to go just a little more toward the intake, okay? Because that's one single. Okay, so by taking that little bit off there that you see, right in here, and you can't see it, but down in here I made some marks. Taper this. It's on the exhaust side you're worried about. So that it comes at more of an angle this direction. It goes like from here to here, and it has to hit the intake right in here. From the angle it is to where it goes can be increased by removing that little bit in that side right there. Don't go too far. You won't like it. Just get a little bit. You're trying to reshape in here, inside here. And you're trying to get that there so it's a better flow out of your case. Okay, the same principle applies on your primary transfer on your exhaust side. That's this one. You're trying to get that primary a little more out of this side here. I actually take a little bit here, just a little bit, and then I'll cut this right here just a little further. Get turned around. Boy, people can do that. I have a problem with it. So anyways, right where that mark is, most saws I don't get too radical with this stuff. You're chasing rainbows, yeah. You're going to go for that .002 more horsepower. Okay, yeah, I would, but yeah, it's for me, because my time's meaningless what it is for me. Okay, these transfers are so important. So you guys kind of understood the intake and the exhaust pretty good. The blowdown cycle starts at bam, bam. First ray of light. Piston goes down. The transfer is open. Now that's counted when the top of that piston clears the top of the transfer. That's your true opening. I find that by just putting a ring in there and just putting it in with a piston until I see it. And then I measure to the ring, okay? And I take my degrees off of that. Do I alter them? Not a lot of times. I don't have to. There's a wide area that you're still safe. Some saws are pretty tight. Interestingly, like Buchan's Pioneer P51, for an 82cc saw, I set the exhaust at 100, did a base gasket delete. That's where it starts to open, and the transfer is open at 120. That's 20 degrees. I mean, I didn't touch the opening of the transfer. Pioneer had something. They knew how much further they could go if they felt like it. They were waiting for competition to catch up, and they were going to throw them a curveball from all get out. On them Pioneers, I'm doing what they could have done so freaking easy, and they had it on the drawing board. I swear to God, they designed it in the saw. Buck and saw is what Pioneer would have done if they got competition, and they didn't. They didn't get it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Come on, you home light guys. Don't tell me that pedal reed you got works like that freaking one. Nobody had a reed like this other than Pioneer. They was looking at dirt bikes. They were looking at boat motors. Gee, I wonder why that is. ELM, Is that right? ELM, is that what it is? Okay. Now, hopefully, you've got this sorted out on what to do with the 272, 268, that kind of thing on them cylinders. On them, the exhaust and intake is pretty basic. It's just like the rest of the saws that we build. Okay, now because we can, and you can see this, I'm going to show you in this old snowmobile XLT motor. It's a 600. It's just a workhorse motor. It's nothing special. Why are we going to build one of these? After we get all these saws done, and there's not another one left of your guys, you guys waited too long. And it's time to get ramping again. We got the parts. We can get the parts. And I want to take advantage of that. I would like to, by spring, have this motor where I'm working on it, and I'll share this. I want to show the commonality of all two strokes to you. Not just this saw and this saw and this saw. I want to show you where I get ideas from. I'm not a mad scientist. I'm observant. That's all I am. I see something in a one particular dirt bike. Oh my God, them Yamahas, them 490s, whoa, freaky. And they were just as freaky as a KX 500, which is a 491, right? And that was just as freaky as the Honda CR 500. Gee, there's another 490, which is just as freaky as the Mako 500 that I've got, which is a 490. Yeah, they left that so they could bore a little bit. That's what they did. They wanted you to be able to put a couple pistons in them. That's why they did 490. 500 class, It's interesting because that was the early evolution of open class. And you could, man, watching them guys race used to scare the crap out of me on them 500s. Man, them bikes was never on the ground. All you seen was boom. Go look at Google the old from the 80s, them open class bikes. Watch them guys run them. Most of them are in Europe. It's amazing, really is. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm at 14 minutes and change, so I want to try to get this. Bear with me. Let me show you some good examples. This is probably the best you'll ever see, as far as being able to get in there. And I think I can actually take this camera and shine it in there and let you see. Well, it ain't as easy as I thought. Oh, okay, because the camera's over here. Duh. Okay, we got it. This is your exhaust right here. This is where the top of the roof is. There is where the opening of the transfer is, right there. Okay? Now, boy, I'm never going to get good at this. Good thing I don't cut my own hair on. Okay, now what it is, the difference for height, you can see it there is, even on a snowmobile engine. And then you've got the intake side. This has got a partition. Same rules apply. You're removing from the floor of the intake once you know what your timing is. And the roof of the exhaust. You'll bring your transfer ports to match a specific number. Okay? Now, yeah, are they big enough? Yeah, they're big. But they're shaped funny, aren't they? We can do better than that. The intake side is the one I'll be the most proud of when I get done cleaning that ugly old thing up. And we're going to get rid of some of this brass tube here. I know what that's for. And we're going to put that in a better location, I believe. We got a guy coming. Henry 22LR. You seen me talking to him last night in the comments. Let me explain something. He's a snowmobile guy. He's a young lad. He went to school with my son Cullen. Good guy. I don't know if he'll get on camera or not, but maybe we can get him on camera someday. I know you'll get him on camera at some point, but as far as the sled stuff, I don't know. If he wants to, we'll do it. He's got this guy is who everybody brings his sleds to help figure them out and help fix. That's what he's doing. But he doesn't know the porting and stuff like that. And it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting because I know the porting, but I don't know the sleds. So I want to meet with him. I want to get, okay, I'm going to do this and this. What kind of problem am I going to make? This is what it's going to be all about for me. Not one man in this whole world knows everything. Now, on these snowmobile engines, everything applies all the way through True Story. You just got to know what you're looking at. See the side of that skirt right there? When that piston comes down, that is the opening for the air to go up the transfer. Okay, well, the problem with this particular engine is the crank blocks it by halfway. Okay, so what I propose I'm going to do, and yeah, it's kind of heavy. Now, you good snowmobile guys are going to say, oh, you better not do that. Bull crap. I've done it on dirt bikes with weaker pistons than these. These are actually good pistons factory. I'm removing to the line. I'm removing to the width of the transfers. I might even go further if I make them transfers wider on the exhaust side, the primary transfer, so I can aim it toward the roof of the intake. I want that air, when it's coming down, just billows right up into them transfers. Now that motor was not designed to be a race engine in no way, shape, or form. That was designed to be a strong, torquey motor for trail riding. It's a pickup truck motor. We're going to make a drag car out of one. And it probably won't be this particular motor. It's been apart for a bit, and I see scoring and stuff. We don't. But we got two more over there to blow up. To build. You got to break a few egg guys. I'm going to get rid of some of that crank. There's some neat things about that. Geez, let me just show you. I can't contain myself. Let me just show you. Snowmobile guys, you're going to get upset at me when I'm going to do horrible things. And I'm just going to do it. Just because I can. See this combustion chamber? See that? Now, that is a dome piston. Okay, but it's a round dome. It's not flat on top. There's nothing to contain into our squish band. You guys know, we've talked about squish band plenty. We do about 20, 25 on a chainsaw. I think these here, you better believe 35. That's what I'll calculate it out, but I think I better leave 35. But here's the deal, just to that ridge, let's measure it. We'll just see. Okay, I'm zeroed. It is 72 thousandths. just to get to the freaking flat here. Now, you know in a chainsaw, that's flat for a ways and then it does a thing. Okay, guess what we got to do? We are going to do the same thing. And I'll tell you why. We're going to make a proper squish. They're not worried about squish. I don't understand this. I mean, this is just kind of a crap solution to a, you know. Okay, so I want to get, now just by just sheer instinct alone and a little bit of madness, I want to get that to about right there, to the edge of that line. From that line to the outside, I want that flat. Okay? Now, that means, now I'll have to CC this and do the bore stroke thing to make sure we ain't going stupid with our compression. But I've done an awful lot of this kind of stuff in my life. Okay, that's showing 124. 125 thousandths. We're going to shave 125 thousandths off this? I don't think so. I think that'd be just too much. We'd probably have 16-1 compression. Just by instinct and motors. Maybe I'll do 100. Just by looking at that, I think I can do 100. And I'll be probably 13-1. I'll let you know how that works out. But when we do that, we're going to take this here edge and we're going to break that into 2 steps that's left. We're going to get just a little bit more area here. I want that to fire dead center or going toward the intake side. Okay? That's what I want to do. Now, I can tailor that combustion chamber any way I want to get that, make that happen. Now, okay, 12.5, 13-1. Why don't you just take the 125 off the thing? Be about 14.5-1. Fuel. Can we get fuel good enough? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can get gasoline good enough. Alcohol, definitely would love it. We could run alcohol in the sled. Where they race these sleds is 300 feet, 500 feet. It's just a bunch of guys getting together in a club. And they do some pretty trick stuff. But we don't want to go out there with some hybrid thing and just crack their butts. That ruins the fun, okay? Can I do that? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I could shame them boys. We're not going to do it because we want them to come and like us too, don't we? Yeah. Play at the level that other people like to play at. When I'm alone on a dirt bike, I get to play at my own personal level, and I like that so much. When I'm riding with them young guys, sometimes they push me a little hard. I got to just do some cagey stuff just to keep moving with them, you know. And it don't matter when I'm riding. My favorite bike to ride that I own, 1976 or 77 Suzuki RM370. They're low to the ground. You ain't got far to fall, man. And I can lay them right on the foot pegs, and it'll come right back up. I'll be on the ground and come back up. I can't do that on these newer bikes. They don't work the same. Okay, so we got the squish band and one thing or another figured out. Now, what are this UXLT guys that know what's the RPM of this? What's the safe RPM for this stock motor? 9,800, 9,600, something like that. Just a wild guess. I don't know. Okay, I can get more out of this by doing 2 things. We have to definitely address the crank issues, bearing issues, and oiling in the bottom end. I've got ideas there. I'm going to share that right now. It's going to be a long video. Snowmobile guys, pay attention. I would recommend that you guys on chainsaws do, because you're going to start thinking out of the box, and you're going to start figuring things out, okay? Now, to get my intake timing, I'm going to remove from this heavy piston the skirt, and I'm going to blend these corners right here, not to get stress risers. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to push that exhaust side skirt as far as I can and still make sure it's closed, okay? I'll get some weight off. Is that going to cock around? Nah. When things are flying. Let's get 12,000 out of this. 12.5, wanna? Let's gain a couple thousand RPM. Whatever this motor is, you guys tell me and that's what we'll do. The inside of this dome is extremely heavy. And it's ribbed. Okay? I can't cut that whole dome off. That top of that piston will be razor thin then. But I'll tell you what I can do. From the amount that I'm going to remove, I can do the same thing from here to here and take the top of that dome off. That lets me get a much smaller combustion chamber so I can repocket the darn thing. Dirt bike guys know all about that. We can tailor, can't we, dirt bike guys? We can tailor this darn cylinder, or this head, so it wants to run right where snowmobiles run the best. Can't we? Yes, we can. Dirt bikes, you got a range going up and down through. Is this going to be a trail sled? Oh, heck no. No. It's going to be get to the top RPM as fast as you can, hold it there till either A, it blows up, B, you won the race, C, something else happened. You don't know. You break something. Snowmobiles are made of glass just like log skidders. Okay? So, I'm going to find any area I can to reduce weight on this piston. Just a gram or two gains you working RPMs. Okay? I have a good basic understanding of how much I can remove wear in these. I've dealt with it with the bigger bikes for years with no problems. And we will save a ton of weight. On the crank on them bearings in them are known for not oiling. I might as well just go ahead and cap this off and show you what I'm planning, guys. You snowmobile guys are freaking living legends in my mind. You can keep them things running. Some people can't keep a chainsaw. Chainsaw is the simplest two-stroke you ever work on. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You just pardon me a minute. Let me get this set up. See that crank right there? That darn thing, I got you all right there. That is blocking a lot of this area right here. That is. So when the crank throws up is where it really counts. That's why we got to do something with that piston. But here is a really cool thing. These are where they oil right here. Okay? Everybody knows the oil hole on this end was always way too small. I think it was a friggin' thing they wanted to do. These ain't big enough. Why can't we get oil to that bearing? That bearing blocks half of that frickin' oil. I already know that. Why don't we take... Yeah, get that rod to stand up. And give me just a second to get something moved around here. Right here to point... I want to bore a hole at about that angle in the edge of that crank. Okay? And the reason I want to do that is I can get oil straight in that frickin' bearing, exactly in the center of that bearing, which is something you can't do any other way. I know you probably didn't see that good, but you guys that have been in these motors know what I'm talking about. It's right, there's one little sweet spot. And that's what my intentions are. So, we're going to put a double bearing on this end. We're going to machine the case, put a second bearing in. We are going to do everything we can to direct more oil into both bearings. I do not want to use oil injection on this motor. It's going to be a freaky little thing. On the outside, I want it stock appearing. I'm not going to hide anything. When he goes to run the sled, I'm going with him, and they're going to know. And I'm thinking Henry 22LR ain't going to miss it either. He's one of them guys that's he's really quite a guru. He knows these freaking sleds, but never really looked at what can we do to port. When we're porting, it's like any of you ever played it with streetcars. Took your cam out, put a mild cam in, all of a sudden it had a light rump. You put a bigger cam in, it's heavier rump, or you went full tilt and put a monster cam and it goes bubbly bubbly bub. That's by altering the intake and exhaust timing. And it doesn't make more horsepower. Oh man. Especially if you put the intake with it. Here's your deal. Them transfers are your intake. That's what it is. Bigger intake, altered timing means great airflow. Think about it. Okay, that's enough for now. Goodbye.